Maria faced the two people she never thought she'd see again, her children. With eyes brimming with desperation and hearts heavy with unspoken regrets, they stood before her, not as the innocent souls she once cradled in her arms, but as strangers scarred by life's cruel twists. Maria, a woman whose face bore the gentle creases of time and kindness, stood firm in the modest office of a local NGO, her eyes reflecting a mixture of surprise and pain. Across from her, two young adults, barely in their 20s, exuded desperation and entitlement. They were her children, Alex and Sophia, whom she hadn't seen in years after they had chosen paths that led them away from her, paved with anger and misunderstanding. "Mom, we need your help," Alex began, his voice laced with an urgency that belied his earlier indifference to family ties. "We're out of options and have nowhere else to turn." Sophia, her eyes darting around the room, avoiding her mother's gaze, added, "We just need a place to stay and some money to get back on our feet, that's all." The room, filled with posters advocating for various social causes and a desk cluttered with paperwork, seemed to shrink under the moment's weight. Maria, who had dedicated her life to helping the less fortunate after her children had abandoned her, found herself grappling with a torrent of emotions. The pain of their abandonment still lingered like a shadow, yet the maternal instinct to protect and provide was overwhelming. "I've spent years wondering where I went wrong," Maria said, steady but soft, "wondering why my children decided that a life without their mother was preferable. I've found solace in helping others and in giving to those who have nothing. And now you stand before me, asking for help not because you want to rebuild our relationship, but because you see me as a last resort." Alex shifted uncomfortably, the reality of their situation settling in. "We know we've made mistakes, but—" "Mistakes?" Maria interrupted, her calm demeanor beginning to crack. "You left without a word, without looking back. You chose a path that led you away from me, and now when life has become difficult, you remember that you have a mother." The silence followed was heavy, filled with years of unspoken hurt and regret. Maria looked at her children, really looked at them, and saw not just the young adults who stood before her, but the innocent faces of her babies, the ones she had held in her arms, dreaming of their future. "I've learned a lot about forgiveness and compassion through my work here," Maria continued, her voice softer now. "I've seen the worst and the best of humanity, and it's taught me that love is not about giving in to every demand or rescuing you from every consequence. True love, the kind that builds character and resilience, is about tough choices and sometimes letting go." Alex and Sophia, faced with the depth of their mother's strength and the consequences of their choices, found themselves at a loss for words. Realizing that their actions had caused deep wounds was a bitter pill to swallow. "I cannot give you what you're asking for," Maria said, her decision clear. "Not because I don't love you, but because I do. Finding your way, learning from your mistakes, and growing from them would be best. This NGO, this work, it's my life now. It's where I've found purpose and healing. I can offer you my love, but I cannot rescue you from your chosen path. It's time for you to take responsibility for your lives." The meeting ended with no promises of financial support or shelter, but with something far more profound. Maria offered her children a chance to start anew, not with her resources, but with her blessing to find their strength and purpose. In the following months, Alex and Sophia embarked on a journey of self-discovery and redemption. They faced hardships but also found within themselves the resilience and determination their mother had shown. They began to understand the true meaning of love and sacrifice, seeing their mother not as a safety net, but as a beacon of strength and compassion. Maria, for her part, continued her work with the NGO, her heart slowly healing from the reunion with her children. She watched from afar as they made their way in the world, proud of their progress and hopeful for their future. The pain of the past, while never wholly forgotten, began to fade, replaced by a cautious optimism for what was yet to come.